Hello everyone, and welcome into my first video tutorial of quilting by the numbers. I had a very big response from all of you who wanted to know how to design your quilts on a Mac by using their application numbers. So we're going to start today. There are going to be a series of short little videos so that you can take it all in and just start practicing. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go down to your dock and open up. You're going to go down here, open up your numbers program. What you will see will be the template chooser that pops up. On the side here you'll see choices that you can pick from. You're going to choose blank. You're going to click on the one that says blank and either double click or go down here and click choose. When it opens up, you'll see a spreadsheet-like form. I'm going to actually make this screen just a little wider here so you can see a little better. And you're going to see that cells are all very small. We're going to adjust that so that you have an actual graph-like paper or grid format to actually design your quilts. So the first thing you're going to want to do to create a grid here that's conducive to designing your quilts is you're going to go up here to the inspector and click on it, open it up. And then you're going to go over, there are these little buttons at the top. You're going to want to go to this one, the table inspector, click on it. This will open up some interesting little items which you'll become familiar with. But what we're concerned about now is the row height and the column width. So currently, let's just move this off to the side slightly. We want to go all the way up to the first cell, A1. And then what we want to do, so you're going to click on that so it's highlighted in blue. We want to actually select all the cells so that we can make them all uniform in shape and size. So if by clicking on the first one and coming down all the way to the bottom right hand corner, holding the shift key down with your finger and clicking on the bottom right hand cell actually goes ahead and selects the entire table, and you can see it is highlighted in blue. And that is what we want. We want all of the cells selected. So let's move this back over slightly so now you can see. So what we're going to do, I'm going to create a table which has all the cells the same size. I'm going to make them 2 inches. You can make them any size you want, or you can make multiple tables, one that's a 2-inch size cells, one that's a 3-inch size cell, 4-inch size cell, whichever, or you could just do the math to figure it out at a later point. So we're going to change the row height. We're going to highlight it, change the row height to 2 inches. Then we're going to change the column width to 2 inches. And now you'll see that the entire thing has changed. You can see that the cell sizes are now exactly 2 by 2. Now you see that there's this gray area here and this gray area here. Those are the headers and the footers. You can keep them that way if you like. I tend to like them the same as the rest of it. So here's your headers and footers. And we're going to click on here and we're going to get rid of the side footers. So we're going to, the side gray area, and we're going to click on 0, and you can see the gray area disappears. And we want to get rid of the top one, and the gray disappears. So now we have our grid, and if you want to, you can actually now click on any of these and you'll see that each cell is the same size. You can see the entire graph by going down to the bottom here, clicking on your percentages. Right now we're at 100%. So we're seeing only a portion of that on my screen, and remember I have a 13-inch MacBook Pro, so my screen is a little smaller. If I was doing this on my iMac, you would probably see more of my screen. But anyway, so I'm going to select 50%. Now you can see more of the graph. in here. Now, the interesting thing, one of the things I do want to point out, if you go back up to the corner, select that, do the same thing that you did before, hold down the Shift key and click on the bottom, it selects all of them. If you go over here into the inspector to the metrics inspector, which is this little ruler here, click on that. This shows you how big your table actually is. So, graph-wise, it's 24 inches wide and it's 88 inches in height. So, representatively, that would be what your quilt will look like. We will talk about, we can add rows and columns if you need. So say you would like this to be wider. If you click on the far upper right cell and you go up to the menu here and you click on table, you see this drop down menu and you want to add another column, add it after that column, click on add column and you see it adds another column. Every time you click that, it will do that. You can also see that there is a shortcut here which you can use on your keyboard. So you can use that as well instead of going up to the table and clicking on. I tend to use the toolbar up at the top. So you can continue to add columns after, and you will make your table bigger. Now you can see the width has increased to 32 inches. You can also do the same for adding rows. So if I'm down here on the bottom, let's see, actually, let's go over to the far left bottom here, and I click on that bottom cell, go up to the table, and I say add row below. It's going to add another row below that. And conversely, you do the same thing. You can add a column or row before and above the upper. So you can make it, size it to what you want. So now you can actually save this. Say you've got it to the size you want. You can save it as your own template so that when you open up numbers at any given time, you can just choose that template. So we're going to go up to the top here where I clicked on File, come down here, Save as Template. And you can see in mine, I've made already a 2-inch grid, a 3-inch grid, and a 4-inch grid. So we're gonna name this one New 2-inch grid. And you're going to save it to My Templates. You click Save. So now, let's show you what happens here. We're going to quit numbers real quickly. And we're not going to save anything. We didn't do anything on that. We're going to open numbers again by going to the bottom. Now, if you look here on the side, you see again, you see blank. And then you see the options that numbers gives you. And then you see a option called My Templates. Click on My Templates and you'll see these are the templates that I had created previously, and here is the one that we just created, New 2-inch grid. Click on New 2-inch grid and choose it, and voila, opens up to your graph paper that you have chosen to create your new quilt. So this will conclude our very first portion. I'd like you to try to do this, create your own grid. And when you are done creating your grid, then we'll come back to the next session and I will show you how to begin to place shapes and colors in so that you can start creating your quilt on a Mac. Thanks for joining in, and we'll see you at the next video.